Welcome back to my channel. Imagine being told that one of the most dangerous, polarizing, and unpredictable superstars WWE has ever produced is being summoned back into the spotlight, yet he is choosing to completely ignore the company that made him a global force. That is the unsettling reality unfolding right now on SmackDown, where a single announcement has sent shockwaves through the locker room, the front office, and the WWE Universe. Tonight's episode opens the door to a storyline filled with tension, unanswered questions, and the looming threat of chaos, all centered around Drew McIntyre. Nick Aldis steps into the spotlight and delivers information that feels less like a standard update and more like a warning, and what he reveals forces everyone watching to rethink what they believe they know about Drew's future, his mental state, and whether WWE is standing on the edge of unleashing something they may no longer be able to contain. This is Suplex Saga, where SmackDown drama is not just reported but dissected, where backstage power plays collide with main event consequences, and where the smallest detail can signal a massive shift in the wrestling landscape. If you live for wrestling stories that feel real, dangerous, and capable of changing everything overnight, you are exactly where you need to be. SmackDown begins with Nick Aldis already in the ring, and from the moment he takes the microphone, it is clear that this is not business as usual. His posture is firm, his expression serious, and there is a weight behind his words that immediately captures the attention of the crowd. Fans sense it before he even says a name. This is not a hype segment, not a celebration, and not a feel-good announcement. This is about a situation that has been brewing behind the scenes, quietly but intensely, and now it has reached a point where it can no longer be ignored. Aldis addresses the Drew McIntyre situation head-on, confirming rumors that have been circulating for weeks. WWE management, he explains, has been actively working to bring Drew back into the fold. Attempts have been made repeatedly through every official channel available. Phone calls have gone out. Emails have been sent. Messages have been delivered through intermediaries. And yet, despite all of that effort, there has been nothing in return. Not a single response. Not even a brief acknowledgement. That silence instantly becomes the most powerful part of the story. For a man like Drew McIntyre, a former world champion, a cornerstone of the modern WWE era, and one of the most intense competitors to ever step into a ring, that level of silence is deafening. It raises eyebrows not just among fans, but among superstars and executives alike. Aldis does not try to soften the truth or spin it into something more convenient. He openly admits that Drew McIntyre has ignored every attempt at contact. No explanation has been offered. No conditions have been set. No demands have been made. Drew has simply disappeared from the conversation, and that absence of communication says more than any fiery promo ever could. Silence, in this context, feels intentional, calculated, and possibly dangerous. Aldis goes on to explain that despite Drew's refusal to respond, WWE fully understands the magnitude of who Drew McIntyre is. This is not a mid-card talent they can afford to forget. This is a man capable of altering the entire structure of SmackDown the moment he walks back through the curtain. His presence alone could derail championship plans that have been carefully laid out for months. It could disrupt the established locker room hierarchy, forcing superstars to rethink their positions and alliances. It could reignite rivalries that were never truly settled and create new ones that explode instantly. Drew McIntyre is not just a returning name. He is a force of nature, and WWE knows that pretending otherwise would be a mistake. That understanding is what leads Nick Aldis to make his next move, and this is where the situation becomes deeply personal. Aldis announces that Drew McIntyre has been formally invited to appear on SmackDown, face-to-face, in the ring, under the bright lights, to discuss the possibility of his return. This is not an invitation sent through legal teams or corporate emails. This is a challenge delivered publicly, in front of the WWE Universe, in the environment where Drew has always done his most impactful and dangerous talking. The crowd reacts instantly, a mix of excitement, anticipation, and genuine uncertainty. Fans are thrilled by the idea of Drew McIntyre returning, but they are also uneasy, because no one can predict which version of Drew would answer that call. Would it be the calculated tactician who carefully chooses his words and actions? Would it be the ruthless destroyer who thrives on chaos and confrontation? Or would it be a man who is completely finished playing by WWE's rules, someone who no longer cares about authority, expectations, or consequences? Aldis makes it clear that this invitation is not open-ended. The door is open right now, but it will not remain that way forever. This is not just about reinstatement or contracts. This is about accountability. It is about whether Drew McIntyre is willing to confront WWE as an institution, the fans who have supported and criticized him, and himself. There is an unspoken challenge embedded in Aldis' words. If Drew truly believes he is above WWE, then ignoring this invitation will only prove that point. But if he still has unfinished business, this is his moment to step back into the arena and face it head-on. As Aldis finishes speaking, the air inside the arena feels heavy, as if everyone understands that they are witnessing the calm before a potential storm. The biggest question now looms over SmackDown like a dark cloud. Is Drew McIntyre ignoring WWE because he is done with the company altogether? Or is this silence part of something far more calculated and dangerous? Wrestling history has taught us time and time again that when someone like Drew McIntyre goes quiet, it is rarely a sign of retreat. More often, it is the signal that something explosive is being prepared behind the scenes. Drew has always been a competitor who operates best when underestimated, when people believe they know his next move. By refusing to respond, he has flipped the script entirely, putting WWE in a position of uncertainty and vulnerability. Every superstar on SmackDown now has to wonder if and when Drew might reappear, and what that moment would mean for their own ambitions. Championships that seem secure suddenly feel less stable. Alliances that appear strong feel fragile. Even management is forced to confront the possibility that they may be inviting back someone they can no longer control. The idea that WWE could be unleashing a force they cannot contain adds a layer of real tension to the storyline. This is not just about a comeback. It is about the balance of power. If Drew McIntyre accepts Nick Aldis' invitation and steps back into the ring, SmackDown could be changed permanently. The structure of the show, the direction of its main events, and the future of its top stars could all be reshaped in a single night. And if Drew continues to stay silent, that silence itself becomes a weapon, creating paranoia and anticipation that grows stronger with every passing week. Either way, the situation is reaching a breaking point. The WWE Universe is left waiting, watching every segment, every announcement, and every backstage report for the smallest hint of what comes next. Because when the silence final